Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of News 22. I'm Bryan Frankovitch.
And I'm Erin Fitzsimonds.
Acclaimed UK street artist, notoriously known as alias Banksy, has been spending the month of October in New York. The famous street artist has titled his New York tour Better Out Than In, with pieces that offer insightful political and social commentary. Banksy's work has been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and some of his grander pieces have fetched into millions. This past week, Banksy covertly set up a stand on the New York streets, selling his original artwork for only $60 to lucky customers that happened to stop by. Some Eastern students on a field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art saw Banksy's art stand, but passed up on the opportunity to own a piece of the artist's original work.
This past Sunday, Indiana police arrested David Carender after shooting and killing his 19-year-old son, Wyatt Carender. Police stated that Wyatt shot 6 times by his father after an argument over a football game. Wyatt's 3-month pregnant girlfriend, Rhea Canfield, explained to police that the father had several beers at a bar where they were watching the game. According to police, before David pulled the trigger, he said, quote, "I always knew I was going to have to do something like this." David confessed to shooting his son and was arrested on preliminary murder charge.
Facebook is changing its privacy settings, which will take effect immediately. Starting this week, the new privacy settings will allow anybody, including strangers, to view photos, status updates, and comments posted by teens. The change in privacy is encouraged by Facebook, who recently faced competition among more open sites such as Twitter and Ask FM. Facebook hopes to appeal to its younger audience by allowing young teens to share photos and comments with the general public. Several parents have shown concern for the new changes, arguing that teens could receive friend requests from unwanted visitors. Regardless, Facebook will stay with its former decision to allow public sharing.
In New Britain, Superior Court on Tuesday, a Southington woman who was accused of kicking his mother to death on February 9, 2012, was found not competent to stand trial and to be able to be restored on competency. The killer, James D. Aquila, has been committed to the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services and is facing murder charges: felony murder, first-degree robbery, and third-degree larceny. He is in police custody with the bail of $1.5 million. D'Aquila told police that he argued with his mother 5 days earlier and wrestled her to the ground and kicked her face 5 times while wearing his work boots.
26-year-old Michael Fortunato, who was featured in the second season of MTV's Catfish, died in Connecticut over the weekend. He was in the episode titled Ashley and Mike. He died of pulmonary embolism due to deep vein thrombosis, according to medical officials. MTV said in a statement on their website, "We are deeply saddened by the loss of Michael Fortunato. Our condolences, thoughts, and prayers are with his family at this time." Ashley Sawyer, Michael's significant other, who was also featured in the episode, said they were very much in love and they plan to spend New Year's Eve together in her hometown, Atlanta. Michael had texted her about going to the hospital on Saturday, but he changed his mind.
32-year-old Eric Delgado of Hartford has been charged after allegedly going to a wedding reception, spitting in his ex-girlfriend's face, trying to get into a fight with her new boyfriend, and running off and hiding in a sewer pipe. He was quickly tased by police after not following their orders. Delgado has been charged with interfering police and disorderly conduct. His ex-girlfriend, Diana Herrera Ocampo, was also taken into custody and charged with violating a restraining order.
On Tuesday, a woman who claimed to be an aunt of a deceased Sandy Hook Elementary student to receive charitable donations was sentenced to 8 months in prison. Her federal court hearing was extremely emotional, and she was apparently sobbing continuously and not able to answer questions from the judge or her public defender because she was so emotionally distraught. Noelle Alba was the 37-year-old from the Bronx who pleaded guilty to fraud and lying to the FBI. Things got even more emotional when the father of James Mattioli, victim of the Sandy Hook shooting, was at the hearing in order to describe what effect the fraud had on his family and others. Mark Mattioli claimed that Alba's behavior was intrusive, disgusting, and added to his feeling of victimization. He also wanted her to be sentenced to 26 months in prison and to pay a $26,000 fine in honor of the 26 victims of the horrible Sandy Hook tragedy.
In entertainment news, Gravity, the new science fiction movie by Alfonso Cuarón, has topped the weekend box office for its second consecutive week, collecting over $43 million. The film, starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, has received both commercial and critical praise for its incredible special effects and sound design, and may receive different award nominations later in the year. With only a couple of new movies premiering this upcoming weekend, Gravity looks to come out on top for a third straight weekend.
And we'll be right back with this week's editorial after this short break.
Yes, go! Yes! No! Come on! Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And we're back with this week's editorial.
Good evening, Eastern Connecticut. I'm Ashley Wolk for TV 22. Walking around, heads down, working hard to get by. For many, it's difficult to balance classes, clubs, and everyday life. Typically, college students enroll in at least 12 credits, but most are enrolled around 15 if you're trying to graduate on time. Also, many are involved in at least one club or group, on top of having a job, on or off campus. So imagine doing all that and then playing a varsity collegiate sport. Let me take you through the day of a collegiate athlete while in season. You wake up, go to at least 4 classes, usually 5 classes, go to 2 to 3 hours of physical exertion, and depending on the coach, torture, go to work, do homework, and oh, humans need to eat, right? Listen, I'm not standing here trying to say these athletes don't love what they do. I'm not trying to complain or whine, no need to call the wambulance, but really, doesn't it seem a little much? And taking into account that Eastern is a Division III school, Eastern's athletes are essentially getting the short end of the stick, no pun intended. Division I and II athletes have the opportunity to get paid for playing. These D1 and D2 players are getting comped for their athletic abilities and services to the school, which personally I think is appropriate. However, Division III athletes are not allowed to get athletic scholarships. I don't get it. I'm not saying life should be about the money, but unfortunately, most of college revolves solely around the ability to pay for it. And the amount of effort and time that collegiate athletes dedicate to their sport is not only time-consuming, it's exhausting. In addition to physically playing, there's everything that goes with the territory of being a collegiate athlete. There are GPA requirements, coaches' meetings, fundraising, weightlifting in the gym. Athletes aren't allowed to bet on sports. And I'm saying you can't even bet on fantasy football, people. Not kidding. By being an athlete, you lead a double life, one on and off the field. And also, the main controversy is drug testing for collegiate athletes. In D1 and D2, I can understand why athletes are drug tested. Many of these athletes are there based on their athletic scholarships, so I can see why administration and the NCAA would want to monitor these individuals. But in D3, speaking as a collegiate athlete playing a D3 sport, drug testing us seems absurd. I mean, we are essentially doing everything D1 and D2 athletes do without getting any financial stability. We play our sport for our school, for the pride, for the fun of the game. Why treat us like convicts or government workers? For TV22, I'm Ashley Wolk.
We gather to recognize the selfless decision of one of the most influential women of our time. The woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
Welcome to Fogel's.
Beautiful, isn't it?
You expect options everywhere else. Why not with your medical treatment? Talk with your doctor to explore all your options and find what's right for you. Visit ahrq.gov.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
Last Friday night, October 11th, CAB hosted Late Night Oddities. The event included a freak show, which consisted of an act swallowing different sized swords, getting out of a straitjacket, and even students getting involved in the fun by participating in a few contests. There was also an Iron Stomach competition to be entered to win Fright Fest tickets to Six Flags. 2 winners were chosen. Throughout the night, Hocus Pocus was playing in the theater, and there were a lot of strange foods to go with the oddities theme, such as French fry pizza and even bacon and sour cream pizza. We look forward to the next CAB event.
It's that time of the semester again, midterm week. Reporter Megan Saunders explores the best ways to deal with the stress of this difficult week.
Halfway through the fall 2013 semester here at Eastern Connecticut State University, and that means it's midterm exams for all students. So we interviewed a few kids around campus to see how they're balancing good grades, social lives, and the stress of exams. Time management is an effective study tool when preparing for exams. Taking frequent breaks and scheduling your time prevents you from being overwhelmed during midterm week. Juniors Richard Squires and Keith Sunthorne stopped to give us a few words on how midterms have been going for them and how important it is to manage their time when trying to study.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident about my midterms this semester. Lacrosse just ended, so I have a lot more free time to hit the library, not working out as hard, so I have a little extra time, and we'll just see how it goes in a week or two.
Midterms have been going pretty well for me. It's been a little bit stressful, but going in last year, I feel really confident about it because I did good on my midterms. So this year, I came in here with a positive attitude. So hopefully I'm doing good. I'm trying to maintain my social life as well as my DJ life, so I think I'm doing really good, and I'm going in with a positive look.
Although time management is an important part of exam week, practicing good study habits is just as crucial. Every student tends to have different study habits when preparing for their exams. However, not all study habits have to be boring. Making memory games is an effective way to retain and memorize material. Sarah Pierce told us a little bit about her approach to studying.
Okay, so every time that I have to study for an exam, I do note cards for myself. So I take all of my notes and I split them up into different sections. And then I write them out all on note cards, and then I just go through them as flashcards.
On the bright side, midterms means we're halfway through the semester, so study hard, Eastern. I'm Megan Saunders reporting for News 22.
Thanks, Megan. TV22 would like to wish everyone good luck on their exams this week.
On Tuesday, October 29th in the Betty Tipton Room, Eastern will be holding an internship fair. The fair will go on from 1 to 4 p.m. so Eastern students can come meet up with companies face-to-face. At the fair, there will also be a presentation by Wish from 1:30 to 3 p.m. on how to find out more information on finding an internship in Washington, D.C. To find out more information regarding the fair, like or follow at ECSU Careers.
Though graduation may be a distant thought for some, many students have began the search for post-grad employment. Eastern Connecticut State University offers internship programs and vocational advice for students seeking to further their professional careers upon graduation. Eastern's Career Service and Community Engagement Center gives students the opportunity to apply for internship programs, meet with potential employers, build a resume, and apply for graduate work. Career Services does their best to ensure that every student is on the right path to graduation and takes careful steps to guide students forward in their professional endeavors. The Career Services and Community Engagement offices are located on the second floor of Wood Support Services.
This week, TV22 reporter Megan Saunders asked Eastern the famous question, would you rather? Let's see what choices our campus made.
What up, Eastern? Today I'll be going around campus asking would you rather questions. I'll be giving students random scenarios and see what would they rather do. So let's go see what's up with them. So would you rather be attacked by 50 duck-sized horses or be attacked by a horse-sized duck?
Horse-sized duck. Horse-sized duck.
Why?
Cuter. Ducks are cute. Maybe, I don't know.
Would you rather be raised by angels or be raised by the Harlem Globetrotters?
Harlem Globetrotters?
Why?
Because I love basketball. I want to be able to do that dunk.
Would you rather show your friends and family your entire internet history or live near an active volcano?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Oh yeah, you have to choose one.
I'm not too fond of the whole death thing, so I think I'm gonna go with the internet history.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You think you'll get in trouble?
Well, I think I can move out.
So would you rather be known for interrupting Taylor Swift or be known for hitting Rihanna?
I mean, that's really a tough decision. I have to sit down and ask myself, what would Jesus do?
Would you rather change gender every time you sneeze or not be able to tell the difference between a muffin and a baby? So every time you see a muffin, you don't know if it's a muffin or a baby. So you might accidentally eat a baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the second one. Because I actually don't mind either way.
You don't mind eating babies?
Nope. Hey, I'm Joe, here with Megan. About to ask her a would you rather question. So strap in.
I don't know what the question is, so I'm kind of nervous.
Don't be.
I honestly cannot show this question on television because of the nature of it, but this is my reaction to it.
See, I wouldn't be able to do that because I would wake up every morning knowing what I did.
I think that he is the one person that has ever made me speechless. Would you rather have a digitally blurred face like criminals on TV or have your range of bodily motion be reduced to that of a G.I. Joe action figure?
I'd probably have my face blurred out.
Why?
You know.
You don't want to like have kung fu chopping action?
No.
Roundhouse kick action?
No.
No?
No, too much energy.
So are you saying that you don't like your face? So we've had some interesting responses today to these would you rather questions. We've had some fun, had some laughs, cried a little bit, but you know, that's just the way it goes. So that's what's up at Eastern. Tune in next week for more of What Up Eastern, and I'm Meg Saunders reporting for News 22.
Thanks, Megan. Tune in next week for more What Up Eastern.
And we'll be back with this week's sports after this short break.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that laughter makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Before we begin our sports segment, all of us here at News 22 would like to send our thoughts and prayers out to Adrian Peterson and his family as he lost his 2-year-old son, Tyrese, last Friday. The 2-year-old was assaulted by his mother's boyfriend, and despite doctors' best efforts, he passed away Friday afternoon. Adrian Peterson is known for his leadership and inspiration both on and off the field, and with the support of his team and fans, will pull through the tragedy. Calm, cool, and collected. Is there any other way to describe Tom Brady during a last-minute fourth-quarter drive? Brady and his Pats beat the undefeated Saints Sunday 30-27. Brady threw a touchdown pass to Kembrell Tompkins with only 2 seconds remaining in the game. From one of the best teams to one of the worst teams, the New York Giants lose again. Eli Manning now has thrown 15 interceptions in the first 6 games as the Giants fell to the Chicago Bears. Next up, the Vikings on Monday Night Football. Men's soccer encountered their first home loss of the season with a 2-0 defeat from the 8-5 Babson Beavers. The Beavers ended Eastern's 11-game unbeaten streak that the Warriors had since they won their first game of the season on August 31st. The Warriors are now 8-2 with 3 ties on the season. A key to the game was the shots on goal. Babson had 12 while Eastern only had 3. They'll need to deliver more shots on goal this Saturday when they host Rhode Island College at 1 p.m. Eastern women's volleyball continued their stellar season this past Tuesday when they faced off against Rhode Island College. Reporter Nick Ekenfora has the story.
Tuesday, October 15th, Eastern Connecticut volleyball took on Rhode Island College in a Little East Conference matchup at the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium. Eastern came ready to play as they swept Rhode Island handedly. Head coach Peter Managia made sure he gave all of his players a chance to compete as he went to the bench early and often. Rhode Island came into the game 2-19 on the season, knowing that Eastern came out with confidence as they won set number 1, 25-14. Eastern then breezed through sets 2 and 3, winning 25-16 in both. Eastern is now 11-11 on the season and 3-2 in the Little East Conference.
Thanks, Nick, for that report. Keep up the good work, Lady Warriors. Eastern's field hockey team got its first ever victory over Connecticut College on Wednesday night, winning 1-0. Sophomore Hannah Kaiser was at it again, scoring Eastern's only goal and tying Eastern's single-season record of most goals scored in a single season. Eastern's defensive front dominated Connecticut College's attack and shut them down, bringing Eastern's record to 7-7. The win snapped a 3-game losing streak and looked to continue their success against bitter rival Keene State College on the road. In other Lady Warrior news, the women's soccer team played against Trinity College Wednesday night at the Mansfield Sports Complex. Nick Akinfora has more.
Wednesday, October 16th, Eastern Connecticut women's soccer hosted Trinity College at the Mansfield Outdoor Complex turf field. Ranked 6th in New England, Trinity came into the game 8-2 on the season. The Warriors did not have a shot after the first period, but had survived numerous Trinity bids, which included a pair of shots early in overtime, which bounced off the crossbar and off the left post, respectively, minutes before the winning goal. Trinity was able to keep constant pressure on the Eastern net by putting 13 of its 20 shots on cage, finally breaking through on the free kick by junior midfielder Elisa Dolan. Eastern freshman keeper Chelsea Santos of Windsor Locks made a career-high 20 saves in the loss, but by only giving up one goal in 97 minutes, was able to lower her goals against average to just under 1 at .99 and raise her save percentage from 82% to 85%. Eastern falls to 7-6 on the year and will take on Rhode Island College on the road Saturday, October 19th at 1 p.m.
Thanks, Nick. To find out about other Eastern sporting events, check out the events calendar on the Eastern Athletics page. Red Sox fans got a flashback of the 2004 season as David Ortiz came up clutch in Game 2 of the ALCS. Big Papi hit a grand slam to tie up the game in the 8th inning Sunday, which helped the Red Sox tie up the series 1-1. Last night, the Sox bats were nowhere to be found as the Tigers and Doug Fister took Game 4 to tie things up at 2 games apiece. Tonight, the Sox and Tigers square off in Detroit as Anibal Sanchez and John Lester take the mound, with Lester and Sanchez combining to give up only 1 run in 12 1/3 innings in Game 1. This game is sure to be a pitcher's duel tonight on Fox. That's all for sports. I'm Bryan Dostaler for News 22.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see any of our past shows, go to tv22.blip.tv. I'm Bryan Frankovitch.
And I'm Erin Fitzsimonds. Have a good night.